Now, the events industry is calling on people to light the country red today. The Light SA Red campaign's aim is to raise awareness about the sector's lockdown struggles. The sector has not been operating since the beginning of the lockdown. The movement is calling on government to extend financial relief to those who earn a living doing live events and productions. Well, to discuss this further, we are joined by the campaign's Projeni Pather. Projeni, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. Sounds like it's a brilliant campaign, but before we just talk about it, it looks like the hospitality industry, the event side, the exhibition side is really battling currently during this pandemic, and government is not listening.
Absolutely, Dan. Unfortunately, we were one of the first to be shut down, and we're going to be one of the last to come back in. And we hope that by the time we're allowed to come back in, that there will still be companies around that will be able to activate events.
Not just companies, I mean, at this stage, I mean, because rather of what you've said, companies going down means jobs will be lost.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there are thousands of companies that feed the event industry, that activate the event industry, and each of them employ a substantial amount of people, and each of those people have families. So right now there's been 5 months of no work for any of these companies, and that means families that are starving, basically.
Yeah, and one of those industries we just spoke about with Iveka is the Summer Awards. I mean, there's music events, there's exhibitions, there's conferences. Now, your campaign, Light SA Red, is going to be today and tonight particularly. Who's on board?
Well, we have about 445 buildings that are going to be lit up this evening between 6 and 8 p.m. across the country. And that ranges down from small buildings, you could light up your own home, your company, to larger buildings. I mean, in Johannesburg, if you look out into the skylines, the Ticket Pro Dome is going to be lit up. In Cape Town, it's the stadiums. In Durban as well, we've got large buildings that are iconic in those cities that are showing their support of our industry by lighting it up. You know, the color red signifies emergency, and that is what is happening to our industry right now. We are in a state of emergency, and if something is not done soon, it will see the end to this industry and the end to these families that are supported by this industry.
Is the industry united in this action that you are undertaking today?
Absolutely, without a doubt. You know, when we put this call out, which has been driven by the Technical Production Association of South Africa, when it was put out in July this year, there was a huge uptake. And that's because we're all suffering. We all stand united with this. I think that's the wonderful opportunity that this crisis has brought along, is that it has brought us together as an industry, and it's allowed us to stand together and fight as one. We're fighting a common cause, and that's basically to be able to put bread on the table. That is the bottom line. Yes, we support a bigger industry. We bring events, we bring experiences to people. We light up the country in so many ways because experiences give you joy. Experiences drive business as well. Let's not forget that. But unfortunately, all those people that support those events, that ecosystem that falls under these events, have come to a standstill. And of course, we have united and we have joined because we believe that we contribute a huge amount to the South African economy. And we believe that we bring smiles to people's faces by the events that we activate. And we bring business.
Yeah, and you support business as well when they do conferences and exhibitions. A few weeks ago, Projeni, I spoke to the CEO of the Restaurants Association of South Africa, we are also trying to knock on the government door to say they are ready to have patrons coming in and sit down meals and stuff like that. But one of the key questions at the time was, are they ready in terms of the strict COVID-19 protocols? Is your industry, you are knocking on the doors to say, allow us to have the exhibitions and the conferences and all kinds of events. Is your industry ready under these strict COVID protocols?
Absolutely, Dan. You know, as an industry, we haven't waited for government to give us the protocols. We have driven the narrative. We have been very proactive as an industry. We formed South African Events Council that represents a body of about 12 associations, event associations, and together with the Event Safety Council, we put together event safety protocols. Now, this was informed by the World Health Organization and numerous organizations worldwide that we work together with to ensure that we have safe standards. Now, you must know that as an event industry, we generally operate under safety guidelines. We cannot open an event, a conference, an exhibition without it being approved by the safety officials in a city. What we've done now is add another layer to that is even stricter than anything that the Department of Health would even be asking for to ensure that we can operate safely. And, businesses, attendees to events, and consumers to events can rest assured that any event that we will activate will be under safety protocols. If you look at business events and exhibitions, we call for registration, and all events will be calling for registration. And registration allows you to be able to track and trace individuals under very, very careful guidelines. It allows us to be extra careful with the delegates that attend. So, we have this in place. We did a proof of concept event last month as well, and where we hosted the maximum amount, which is now 50 people. We hosted 50 people at 5 venues around the country. And we had a hybrid event, so we had online interaction as well. But we use the guidelines to show government and to show business in South Africa that we can operate safely. We haven't had a single incident. Everything went off impeccably. And we can guarantee that any event that we undertake will operate under those same guidelines. We're not irresponsible. We're a very accountable industry.
Hopefully somebody's listening, and very soon your industry might be allowed to come back. Meanwhile, we'll watch and see how your Light SA Red campaign goes on tonight to raise awareness about the sector's lockdown struggles. Thank you very much, Projeni Pather. Now, coming